we move into the last topic of this unit, which is to calculate the hydrostatic force on a submerged surface at an arbitrary orientation with respect to the fluid level, which is considered to be horizontal. So this is the free surface of the fluid. I am trying to reproduce here figure 2.17, and we assume that the free surface is horizontal and that gravity acts downwards, okay, and that we have a surface which could be having an arbitrary cross-section area. So this is the surface, and this is the top view of the surface, and this is the side view, okay, and we have here the fluid exerting pressure or normal force on the normal stress on the surface. So if I imagine this, if I point an arrow pointing towards the whiteboard, the pressure is acting all along this surface here. Now my goal is to calculate what is the resultant force and the location of the resultant for a surface whose cross section may be, whose area may be arbitrary. So that's our goal here. So the problem is really an exercise of statics, where we apply a uniformly distributed load on the surface and try to locate what is the magnitude of the resultant and what is the location of the resultant. Our goal is to calculate these three quantities. Where does the resultant force act? So say suppose the resultant is to be acting here. Excuse me. So suppose I have the resultant to be acting here, Fr. I need to locate where is Fr on the surface. So if this is Fr, what is going to be this distance along the y-axis, which is yr, okay, and then along the x-axis, which is xr. Now what are x and y? Suppose the surface is inclined at an angle theta. We define a coordinate system that is coinciding with the origin here. This direction perpendicular to the pressure, or along the direction of pressure, is the x-axis, and perpendicular to that direction, the plane-wise direction, is the y direction. So that's how I draw x and y here. We want to calculate what is the resultant force and the location of the resultant, and we can go through a standard derivation that is given in section 2.8. The derivation itself is not very important for us. If you understand the basic idea of what does it mean to have a resultant force, what is causing the resultant, the pressure is always compressive and normal to the surface. That's really important to understand, and that causes a resultant force. So without repeating the derivation, I'm just going to present the equations for us here. Fr is rho g times the height of the centroid from the free surface times area. Hc is the height of the centroid from the free surface of the area, and yr is Ixc divided by yc times a plus the y coordinate of the centroid. This is equation 2.19. This is equation 2.18, and xr, the x coordinate of the resultant, is Ixyc divided by yc times a plus xc. This is equation 2.20. Now Ixc and Ixyc and Ixyc are the second moment of the area that we are trying on whom we are trying to calculate the force. So these, if you know the shape of this surface, you can calculate Ixc and Ixyc. There are methods in statics to do that. And then if you turn to figure 2.18, there are several shapes in here: the rectangle, circle, semicircle, triangle, and a quadrant. The values of the centroid, the values of area and the second moment of area are mentioned for those given 5 shapes in figure 2.18, and in this course we will deal with only these shapes. Now what you need to know is really how to use these formulas. How to use these formulas for one of those 5 shapes, and later if needed you can generalize this for any shape by going through section 2.8. What we will do in our examples or in our class meetings is to do example problems that will illustrate to you the use of FR, YR and XR. Okay, this we will see through examples. What you need to understand is that the pressure is always normal, or in other words perpendicular to a surface, and is compressive, meaning it acts towards the surface in a way that squeezes it further. Okay, so this topic, force on a submerged surface, completes unit 2 or module 2, which is fluid statics, and in the lectures we will go through problems on manometry on this unit in this subtopic of forces on submerged surfaces, as well as trying to put these two pieces together to solve numerical problems. Okay, thank you.